Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Orange Galen, and today we're going to be watching RWBY, Volume 9, Chapter 2, Altercation at the Auspicious Auction. This is the second time I've had to record this because I messed up the title super badly. Alliteration. Anyway, so, last time we got introduced to this new place. I think it's called the Never After or something like that. I heard things on the internet about that, but I've kept clear of spoilers, thankfully, so don't know exactly the name of this place, but that's probably what it's going to be called. I really don't have a lot to say after the first episode. Don't really have a lot of commentary. The only thing I want to say is something in the intro, watching it back, because I record these and then sync it up, and then every time I see something new that I want to talk about, and the only thing that sticks out right now is that RWBY, actually two things. First of all, RWBY is, every time they're like doing a little running animation, you'll see, I'll point it out later, but RWBY is just progressively getting slower and walking further behind, so that's, a lot of people are thinking that she's like developing a rather warranted severe case of like depression, or not depression, but like the equivalent of that, because depression is kind of like long term, but this is, I mean, admittedly, it is kind of like long term. All of this stuff is just finally catching up, and this is the stuff that I want to see more of. Just, we should have had more of this with like Yang, rather than like just a few shots of her having a little PTSD, and then like a couple times where her like robot arm is shaking. So we need more of that, you know? And that's something I really like now, because obviously as like, I shouldn't say obviously, but as a kid, you want like the action, you want stuff like that. You don't really care for like the nuances of shows. And even though you might like understand it as a kid, or like you see it as a kid, and some part of you like gets it, but it's not until like you're an adult when you watch it back again that like you really get it. It's kind of like all the adult jokes in cartoons and whatnot. But there's something, it's like you take that in without realizing it, and then later on as an adult, you're like, I totally get it now. That kind of thing. So that's something I want a little bit more of. And next, I think in the intro they had they haven't shown Jean all that much, and I think he's that like knight character that you see every once in a while. Even though he fell last, that would be interesting if he actually ends up being like the knight of like the person in control. Hopefully it's not Neo like they keep showing. But yeah, so you might notice a little bit different quality in this, because I'm still watching this on Crunchyroll, but I did something the first time and it worked. This time I tried to do the same thing and it didn't. So you're going to be getting just the volume, the audio, just in this, rather than like from a extra thing that I have here. If that makes sense. Like anybody that does editing, you know, there's like, you could take like the video and audio, but this right here is just going to be the visual, the movie, and then the audio is going to be from speakers. So just a little note, that's what I've been doing for RWBY, and I think last week was the first time that I managed to get like audio and visual in the same thing, but oh well. So this is just like super nostalgia, so I'll be adjusting the volume a little bit in the beginning, so bear with me for that. Okay, I think I covered everything, so let's get started. I keep figuring she wants to say like hell, but that's not it. Yeah, she's also the only one that's not walking towards the camera at that scene. Yep, see, he's further back. I think the first time that I watched it, I didn't even see her in that last one. Oh yeah, with that last scene, I also haven't done any like extra reading, so I know there's a book that's like Neo and Roman Torchwick centered, but I haven't read that. I haven't done like homework, you know.
So are we just gonna stand around thinking about this in silence, or...
I know this place is weird, but a fairy tale? I mean, that's impossible. What we've seen is improbable, but that doesn't mean we're in an actual fairy tale. Are we seriously entertaining this?
Do you have a better explanation for what's going on?
Well, let's try to be more logical, shall we? We fell from the sky. Ruby made friends with a tiny mouse.
Friends!
Blake and I got caught by killer vines, and...
Something about that.
You got your arm
Wait.
stolen by a... What was it that you said?
A talking raccoon riding on a purple wagon filled with trash.
Yes. Okay, I see your point of view.
I was going to say, they could, I don't know if it's because they were overusing their semblances before, or they're just like, they can't do it, but Blake could have gotten her weapon super easily just by using a shadow clone, just like she did in Volume 1, even back in the first fight, where it's like she just jumps off her shadow clone. She could just jump off, grab it. Yeah, but had to do the whole reaching thing. Plot hole.
I am going to go over here now. Of course it's thriving a little trash.
How is Weiss the comedic timing, the comedic character
Crazy
now?
as it sounds, something about this is familiar.
The girl who fell through the world. I think we're in the ever after.
Ever after.
Blake, that world is make-believe. It was just part of a story we all read as kids.
It's not make-believe. It's where I live.
Can you tell us more about it? Have you ever heard the name Alex?
And Alex. Is that a purpose?
In the story, Alex fell from the sky and met with the hunter mice. Got trapped in vines, fought a jabberwocker, and got her knife stolen by a talking raccoon.
Yeah, and then she beat the Red King at a board game, met the curious cat, the rested knight, and finally got out through...
The tree.
All right. There's the season.
Do we go to the tree, look for Alex, Yang's arm? Ruby, you're still missing Crescent Rose.
I'll bet the Jinxie Peddler has it.
Who?
The raccoon.
The Jinxie Peddler? That's the only talking raccoon I know.
Do you know where he might be?
Of course. I'll lead the way. Right to...
Yep.
So the town is just ahead, right? I've been thinking, if we're going to go to this town, we need to be careful. Alex didn't know their customs and ended up starting a war among the townsfolk. Trouble followed her everywhere she went.
This is kind of like the
Yeah,
writer's
but
dilemma.
She's kind of a mean person, right? She lied and cheated her way through most of the book.
She was trying to survive. The morals of those old stories are so simplistic.
Either
Well,
way, we need to tread lightly.
uh-oh.
The town's just up ahead. The Jinxie Peddler always stops by our village before he goes to town.
Do they steal stuff from you guys too?
Steal? Never. They just take the things we're not looking at. Fair's fair.
Sounds like a legitimate business person. Your arm anyway.
Legitimate.
Knocked out from the fall. When I came to, that sneaky raccoon had already grabbed my arm and ran off before I could stop him.
So would you say he caught you unarmed? How disarming. I guess we'll have to catch this.
About time. For what? Nothing.
Damn, Weiss.
Don't worry.
We'll find a way out of here, and then we'll go back home. Weiss?
It's all gone. There's nothing left for me to go back to. Just like Beacon.
You did the best you could for Atlas, Weiss.
But it wasn't enough. We hatched a crazy plan that put a whole kingdom at risk, and we don't even know if we saved the relics from... Maybe John and Winter were able to get them out, despite everything.
Yeah, they don't even
Despite
know.
us.
Well, they got the maiden
I know
out.
that Penny... I know that was a lot to hear.
I was going to say something in the previous episode, but is the weather affected, or does their emotions affect the weather? Because when she started feeling emotional, it started raining before, too. I would not cross that in a million years.
So this is the entrance to the other acre, you called it?
Yep. All we do is cross the bridge, and we'll be, well, wherever over there is.
You don't know?
Nope. Never been this far from home.
Oh, maybe you should go back?
I wouldn't have any idea how to go back. Maybe I'll live by this bridge.
I'll handle this.
Built in a house, my very first house. Trying to find my purpose in my best house.
Would you like to come with us?
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Pre-mint birthday party of his...
Just act like you belong, everybody.
I've always wanted to be long, but I'm still just small.
There it is. So what's the strategy? Just start roughing them up or what?
Probably not the best idea.
In the book, Alex had to barter with Jinxie for her dagger. Yeah, I think I'd rather hit him.
Welcome, one and all!
He's adorable.
And a lot older than I remember from the book.
I am Jinxie, and these are the finest treasures of the acre.
Huh.
I don't see my arm. All of Jinxie's treasures are just other items in disguise, so that people think they're buying something extremely valuable.
Okay. So, which one is Yang's arm?
I want to say it's the
What
staff
does
thing,
your
but I want to
heart
say it's the
tell you?
bunny.
That's how Alex knew. I mean, that one looks roughly arm-sized-ish. Ruby,
There's something about that one.
First item. The diamond-studded rabbit. You! Jinxies.
They look like
How are we going to
Playmobil
bed without any
characters.
I don't think there's any money in the ever after. Jinxie just names whatever price he wants.
money? What did Jinxie want from Alex?
Her saddest memory. And her happiest.
Sold for a hug.
Aww.
Hugs are very valuable.
Maybe this won't be so bad after all.
Second item, a golden scepter. You!
Huh?
The bidding starts at
No, I was the first one to...
knowing what it is to feel loved. A fair price for some, I'd say.
Knowing what it's like to feel loved
Meh.
by royal decree. Sold!
Wait, that's my arm!
Whatever it is, it's royal property now. No price is too high for His Majesty's birthday.
That's right, the trade marriage.
We tried it your way, Blake.
Blake.
No!
Ruby, what are you doing?
Bidding start set. Enough hope to fill this jar. You don't have enough, do you?
Oh.
Huh?
Why, you little... Leave that alone. You can't touch it until the deal is done.
Oh.
Huh?
What?
It's a fake!
I'm going for it!
That's not Penny's sword, but
There's that.
it looks like it.
I got it! Ruby, come on!
Did you just leave? Who wants the hug back?
Those people take auctions very seriously.
I mean, that's auctions for you, actually.
High five. We're doing the same thing Alex did. We're ruining everything.
That's your biggest concern right now?
They
I
can't
read
follow
so
the
many
story.
stories. I never thought I'd be the moral of one. Ruby?
I couldn't explain why, but I was drawn to it. Great. Now it's raining on just us.
Yeah, it is.
That's it. We're getting out of this nightmare. Alex went to the tree, right? Let's go.
I don't think it's gonna work like that. In the book,
We are not in a book. And even if we were, we know how it ends. Right over there.
Yeah, it's like trying to skip to the final chapter.
Stupid!
Uh-oh. How is Weiss the comedic character
I
now?
already tried that earlier. You can't get any closer to the tree that way.
well then what do we do now? We've got my arm, but we still don't have Crescent Rose or the slightest idea how to get out.
This way! Somebody's sad! I'd be sad too, if I ruined the royal birthday.
These guys again.
Blake, what did Alex do next?
She went to the Crimson Castle and beat the Red King at his own game.
Cousin! You treasonous birthday ruiners!
Okay.
We want to go to the birthday party. We want to go to the birthday party.
Well, too bad, because we're going to... Oh, yes. That's where we're taking you, as prisoners, for stealing royal property.
What if I offered you something better? The weapon of a powerful warrior.
Ooh, go on.
Not just a powerful warrior,
Maiden.
the most powerful to ever live. She was touched by magic. And she gave her life for thousands. She took a message of hope to the stars. And she saw the world through better eyes. Take us to the royal birthday and allow us to present this most precious gift.
Yes.
Even the horse is crying.
Come on, then. celebrate.
Ruby, are you sure about this?
Look, we may not know exactly what's going on, but for whatever reason, this place is putting us on a similar path as a book we all read as kids. I say we follow it. And stop pretending we know what we're doing.
God damn, Ruby. I have to appreciate Lindsay in her voice acting for this, because she just makes Ruby sound so defeated right now. Toy soldiers. Just seeing this, that reminded me, yeah, it's like, okay, that was her arm, but then the doll, man, the symbolism of that. Because you could say that Penny was like a doll, and then it turned into something that looked like a sword. It honestly looks like obsidian, like made out of obsidian, but obviously it's not, you know. Okay, that's the end. But okay, rehash time. Got to the town, met Jinx, the raccoon salesman, who is sort of a con artist or an honest businessman. Honest men like me, a gent of good intent, who's content to be master of the auction. All right, sorry. Yeah, I was just thinking of that scene from Les Mis, the song, the innkeeper. Yeah, Ruby just sounds so depressed, and then, yeah, honestly, it's just, I think it's worse for her that she didn't see Penny's death, or second death, because the first time, obviously, saw Penny got turned into quarters, boom, boom, old joke, and this time she has to be told it, and yeah. Also, I was going to bring it up. It's like the storytelling dilemma. It's kind of like fan fiction, you can say, when the character is like self-inserted into a story. And it's like, for every author, there's the balance of having to follow the storyline and just completely going off of it, or like following the storyline so exactly that it just doesn't make any sense. Like, because you're adding a whole new character that's actively participating in events, and it's still following the same thing, and the same things still happen, maybe with just slight tweaks. And that's usually the poorer fan fiction, you could say, that do that, the not as well written stuff. But this is kind of following that. I don't know if there's an actual term for it, but there is stuff that is... This is an interesting take on that, because you have Blake that wants to follow the story exactly, but then the others are like, this is not a story, this is our life. And maybe, was it Alex? It's Alex is the person that they talk about, but her, maybe, is that other girl that's in the trailers, or in the opening. But yeah, it's just like, there's those two things, but it seems that stuff is playing out the same almost as in the story. I don't remember if they talked about the girl who fell for the world before. I can't remember if they mentioned that before in the show. I'm sure they did at some point, but I can't remember. But it was in one of those, oh, there was another thing of RWBY that I didn't watch. The, like the fairy tale shorts. I didn't watch that. That's something I think I need to watch, because I haven't yet. So yeah, there's now 3 things of RWBY that I need to watch. The last thing of RWBY Chibi, which was in that compilation thing, I think, right? Of like animated stuff. Then the fairy tale stuff, and then Ice Queendom. So that's 3 things of RWBY that I still need to watch. Maybe I'll interspace that in throughout this volume. I don't know. yeah, I'm sure there's going to be other stuff that I'm going to talk about in the next episode after watching and editing this. But at the moment, I can't think of anything. So, this has been Orange Galen. Like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Yada, yada, yada. All that stuff. And I shall see you all later for whatever comes out next. Hopefully it's Spy X Family, the re-uploaded version again. We'll see. All right. See ya.